Yo, what's up guys? My name is Nico. I've been living in my Tesla for about 3 months now, and I wanted to give you guys about 10 tips on how to get started car living or living in a Tesla. A little bit of a backstory in case some of you guys are new. My name is Nico. I've been traveling across the US recently for about 2 weeks. I recently quit my job at GNC as a store manager to then pursue YouTube full-time. If we rewind the clocks back a little bit, on April 15th, I was laid off from Tesla. I worked there for about 5 years. Me and my family had to sell our $1.2 million home. The mortgage was about $8,000 a month. And we decided to let go of it. And then I decided to live in my Tesla to just save money. So when I was working at Tesla, it was 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. shifts. 1 week it would be 3 days, and then the next week would be 4 days. And I lived about an hour and a half away from Tesla. So I decided to actually live inside the Tesla and, skip the commute and just go to work after waking up. And so that's what I did. I saw a few of my coworkers inside the bathrooms in the morning at like 4 a.m. And they're like, "What are you doing in slippers?" It was kind of funny. But before then, in 2021, I actually had a Honda Civic hatchback. It was a white one. There was a lot of problems with the Honda Civic. And for one thing, it was in the winter time. So keep in mind that when it's cold outside, you have to run the heater and you have to turn on the car. So one of the main problems I was having was condensation on the windows. Actually, like every time I slept and woke up, I had seen condensation on the windows. I had gotten a big sleeping bag that was like good for like, I think minus 30-degree weather, but it was so bulky and big. And I even took out the passenger seat of the Honda Civic hatchback just to make sure I had room, but then it still wouldn't work because I had little minimal headspace inside the car, and it was just a hassle. I kept hitting my head, bumping my head. I felt like I was in a coffin. I actually woke up a few nights where I hit my head on the top of the headliner, and it sucked. So after all those problems happened, I was like, you know what? Let me just get a Tesla so I don't have to deal with the condensation. I don't have to deal with running the car to heat it up. There's this thing called camp mode where it keeps it 70 degrees the whole night. And then it was just piqued my attention because you could just live in it because the Tesla Model Y, the headspace is so big. So here are the 10 tips that I wish I knew before I started car living, and then how it would kind of help you guys out for sure. So one of the things I would say is know your why. So why do you want to do it? Do you want to do it for freedom? What about adventure, right? Do you want to explore the world, have more independent location-wise, right? Do you want a fresh start? Is it money? Do you want to save money, not pay rent, no gas, water, utilities, garbage, all of that overhead, right? Do you want to skip all of that? That was kind of my why of like living in the car, to skip all of those kind of like unnecessary items of living inside a house, right? I would say it's not all rainbows and stuff, right? Like there's a lot of struggles. For one thing is like the cooking, like you have to cook outside. I have a burner stove that I cook outside, but there's a lot of flies, not to mention dishes. I have to use a water pump in order to wash my dishes. And then I have to deal with the 95-degree heat like what it is right now and run the AC inside. So that's number one, know your why. Number two is try it out. Are you gonna have a cooking setup? Are you gonna have a water setup? Are you gonna have a bed setup? Try going on a road trip and then test it out. Like go on a 2-week road trip, kind of see how it feel it out. And then, maybe it is for you, and how your bed set up, your water set up, and all that. And also where you're gonna go to the bathroom, right? And then hot showers and stuff, right? So those are the things that I have to deal with on a daily basis. I use the gyms for showers, and I make sure they're 24-hour access and stuff like that. Okay, number 3, do your research. I highly recommend you look on YouTube, look up either van life or car living or nomad life. Are you gonna live in a van? Are you gonna live in an RV? Are you gonna live in a car? Are you gonna live in a pickup truck with a pop-up tent? Or do something like me, live in a Tesla, right? Where, you don't have to worry about your heater or your AC. You could run it all day and night, and you could charge sometimes for free and stuff in some areas, right? If you download the PlugShare app, you can get charging for free in the US. You just gotta look it up. Which leads me to my next point, budget. So you wanna make a budget. You wanna make sure that you have your finances together, right? No rent sounds fun, right? No rent sounds completely fun. No utilities, no gas, water, garbage, electricity. Living the nomadic lifestyle of not having that overhead, you're not paying about, $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 a month on housing or rent or apartment or whatever it is, right? So I highly suggest that you have your finances together. And also, what are you gonna do? Do you need to sell your stuff? Do you need to make sure that you get a storage unit? The story of me moving out of my $1.2 million home, we had to box everything up. What's up, guys? Just wanted to inform you guys about the house and the move. We have completely moved out everything from the kitchen to the living room to the upstairs, and this is just a little vlog right now of everything that we've taken out. It's pretty crazy how everything is. Me and my parents and my little brother, when we moved out, I decided to live inside the car, and then they got a place of their own to rent. All my stuff that is excess is over there, so I don't have to pay for like a storage unit. So, if you have your parents' place to put all your storage stuff, like all your extra unnecessary items that you don't want to bring on the road, highly suggest you give it to them, put it in their garage or in a room that they're not using. Or if you don't have a family that wants to do that, just go ahead and rent out like a storage unit for, I don't know, like 60 to 100 bucks a month, something like that. I know a lot of van lifers do that. Or you could try a friend's house, plop up your extra stuff to a friend's house, see if they're, able to do that. That would be kind of great, right? It'll help out. Having fewer things makes things a lot easier, and, living with less, it helps because there's like less on the mind, like clutter wise. It's just your basic necessities. I think Marcus Aurelius said it best: very little is needed to make a person happy, and it all depends on your attitude and how you deal with things, right? And also, if you're going to be living on the road, you got to figure out a way to make money, right? So for me, it's YouTube ad revenue, and also have Patreon getting set up. And yeah, how are you going to make money on the road? Is it going to be through Fiverr? Is it going to be through contract work, online work, stuff like that? Okay, number 5, plan for the basics, right? So shower, toilet, cooking, assess your current cooking habits and your current eating habits, right? So do you want to eat fresh vegetables and, use a cutting board and all that? Or do you need to buy like frozen vegetables, which I do. I just buy frozen vegetables, frozen peas and carrots, things that are already chopped up, so I don't have to use a cutting board outside because, the flies and stuff, they get on it, right? And you don't want to get sick, especially when doing this car living thing. You want to keep everything minimal and basic and easy. Find a routine that works best for you. Everyone has a different routine. For me, I wake up, I either go on a hike or I go in the gym. I do something active to get my day started in the morning around 6 or 7 a.m. After that, I do like my YouTube editing and hop on the laptop and stuff. Number 6 is commit, right? Burn the boats, right? What they say is if you want to take the island, burn the boats. Like there's no going back. Yeah, are you going to put your 2 weeks in at work, or are you going to put in your last month for your notice for the lease or the rent thing? So that's when you're going to have to commit to this lifestyle. Do you have enough saved up money to actually do this thing? You got to definitely assess like your finances, see how you're doing. You got to really dig deep on how you're going to make money on the road, because if you're not physically located at a job, now your work is on a laptop. Doing stuff online helps out a lot because you don't have to be at a specific location. It's just online. Fiverr is a good way. YouTube is a good way. If you do have the 4,000 hours of watch time and all the other criteria like the 1,000 subscribers, then you can get ad revenue and stuff like that. But make sure you do have like a location independent job. Number 7 is gonna be vehicle insurance. I have Tesla insurance. I pay about $124 a month, and that covers me. My insurance is in California, so I know it's different in like Oregon and stuff like that. It fluctuates, but in California, I pay $124 a month for Tesla insurance. Also have my camera stuff insurance through Best Buy. So I bought all my camera gear from Best Buy, and it's all covered through the membership that I have there. Number 8 is going to be legal stuff. So, mail, right? How are you going to receive mail on the road? Do you have your parents' place in order to receive mail for like voting registration and all that? I have my parents' place, so I use that as like where I put all my mail and stuff. You could use a P.O. box. I know that a lot of van life people have used P.O. boxes to get their mail sent to them. And make sure the P.O. box that you have it in is going to be the city that you'll be kind of like living in, and like you're gonna live there for about a week or two, and then your mail can get sent there. Number 9 is gonna be where to park. Okay, so I have a story for you guys. Where to park. Okay, so I had been parking in a business lot for quite some time when I was working at GNC, and I was at the business lot over and over again, parking at the same spot. Big mistake. Do not park in the same spot all the time, every day. I had learned that the hard way because I had found out on my cameras, because Tesla has cameras, Sentry mode. If you peer onto the vehicle within 3 feet, the Tesla will automatically engage Sentry mode, which is the cameras. And I had saw on my cameras, there was a homeless man looking through my window, and he was just like trying to see what's in there, trying to break in, I guess. But I had my car window covers on, so thankfully he didn't get into the car. But that was my mistake, and I hope you guys learn from that, is that if you park at a place, make sure it's somewhere different and somewhere new, because people can be watching and stalking or whatever and seeing your everyday movements. And if you don't switch it up, I know we're creatures of habit and we like routine and we like certainty, but please take my advice, park in different spots. My advice would be park in residential areas or hotels. And if you park in residential areas, it's good because one, it has cameras on the home, probably has a camera like a Ring doorbell or something like that. But number two, it's like the people inside the house, they probably just think it's another friend at their neighbor's place, and then and it's different every night, right? So it's not very obvious like it would be in a business lot, right? And I've been parking at hotels in Utah all the time, and I haven't had a problem yet. But what I do is, a little hack here is, you scope out the area. For one thing, you look if there's parking permits, and if there's a parking permit there, they have a placard on every single car. Just get out of there, try a new place, right? So I had a couple instances in Zion where I was doing that, and I couldn't find one, but I was driving a little bit of a ways out, and then I found this hotel that had a big, huge lot. There was a lot of empty spaces, and I even see this big RV guy over there, and it was very obvious that he was car camping there. So, if you see a lot of other van lifers, RVers at a hotel parking space, and there's a lot of spaces that are open, then go for it. Try it out, and then because if they're not getting kicked out, you're probably not going to get kicked out too. But the good thing with the Tesla is it's so incognito that no one really knows you're in it. Number 10 is going to be, have a positive mindset. It definitely gets to your head, especially the cooking, the cleaning, showering and brushing your teeth in a public bathroom where everyone can see you and all that. So you definitely have to have a strong mindset when doing this thing. It's not for everybody, right? For sure. But I'm constantly challenged, and I'm always uncertain about some things. But that's where growth happens. And I figured out like a way to find a routine where things work. But on the other hand, things won't work. Like hotels will have no access for restrooms, and it'll be for customers only. And you gotta go scope out other restrooms. And then some gas stations will actually have it locked, and then you have to buy something in order to go to the bathroom. So there's those struggles, but not having rent, gas, water, utilities, electricity, all of that, it boils down to your why. Like if you have your why down in your head, and you know that why is there all the time, it's going to be able to bear, right? And my why also is to save $300,000 still in 5 years and become financially independent, and put that $300,000 into dividend paying stocks where 6% you get residual income every 3 months. You get about $4,500, and basically you get, if you allocate it, $1,500 per month residually without doing nothing. So my goal is $300,000, and the way to get there is by cutting out rent, gas, water, garbage, utilities, and avoid paying $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, because let's just skip that part. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and shoot them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. If you want to live on the road, it's not an easy life, but it does save you a lot of money. I figured out a way to save money while living on the road. So if you guys want to support the channel on my Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Nico Murillo. You can support $5, $10, or $15 to the channel, and it will be greatly appreciated. I'm going to give out like fitness content. I'm going to give out content about my everyday life as a full-time YouTuber traveling across the US in a Tesla, and also tips and tricks on, how to live in a Tesla or in a car, right? And it's not an easy thing to do, but I'm gonna help you guys out, support the channel and the vibe on the Patreon. It would help me live this lifestyle that I live on the road, and thank you. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and give this video a like if you thought this video was kind of helpful, and subscribe if you're new, and thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys and the support and the love from all you guys. Thank you.